Hi guys, welcome. This is the video about ALCI, ArcoLinux Calamares installer. It's completely separate from the other idea to have an ArcoLinux system, right? ArcoLinux Calamares installer, or ALCI.online, ALCI.online. The only goal, and there it stops, right? The only goal is to put Calamares on the ArcoLinux ISO from arcolinux.org and keep as close as possible to the original ArcoLinux ISO. So if they make a decision to put something on the ISO, we will do exactly the same thing without basically using our own brain, right? The only difference is we have a graphical installation tool, and the tool is just awesome in the sense that it's just click, 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 and off you go. You have your own partition and your own file system, BTRFS, etc., etc., and you just have a few screens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screens, boom, and you got yourselves an ArcoLinux installation. It's not themed, it never will be themed, it's up to you to theme it. Last time we've created a Linux LTS OS ISO, and a Linux Zen ISO, so all these tutorials give you more knowledge to get to grips to how, and that's not us, right? How Arch ISO can contribute, can work for you, so that you have your own ISO to install ArcoLinux, but maybe ArcoLinux with Mate on it, or ArcoLinux with Qtile on it, etc., etc. It's entirely up to you to figure that all out. Now, it has been a while since I've made another ISO. Let's see, how long ago did we build ISOs and put them online just for testing, right? The ISOs are not meant to be downloaded. The knowledge that we share here is for you to build your own ISOs. And in the ALCI ISO out last time was 0801, and the date was really 0801, right? The date was the 1st of August. Now we've built one, and now 16 September. So about time we did another build. That's one thing. While we do that, we are thinking, right? We are thinking about our systems. This, what we're on, is the ArcoLinux ISO. Which ISO is this built? It's built from the May ISO, right? And we keep on updating. That's what it's called, to be rolling. Now, this is probably one of the most difficult things on ArcoLinux. That's knowing your drivers, right? So we have here ADMD, GPU, ATI, FBDev, Intel, Nouveau, OpenChrome, Visa, VMware. All of these are on my machine. Take a look what I have. I have a GPU of Intel. I can make decisions. I can say I don't need VMware, I don't need, and so on and so on. So if you know all the drivers that you need, just for you, because we're not making ISOs for the world, we're making an ISO for your system, you can just say, I'm gonna remove all kinds of things from this particular machine. So we're not in a virtual machine, we're an actual machine, and decide to get rid of all that. Those are gone already. Sudo pacman -r xf86. What else can we leave out? So this has been tested already by me, so I know that's safe, right? ATI, I don't need any ATI, I have Intel. So xf86 video. AMD GPU, no, not needed, right? Nothing AMD GPU in here. Ooh, what's this? Video. Now I'm just making the examples here because we're of course gonna talk about ALCI. So the same, similar discussions, similar choices, sorry, you can make on your ISO. You say, oh, I don't need all these guys, I don't need Visa as well. So Visa can go as well. And one more I can even delete, as strange it may be. Go and have a look, Arch Wiki Intel. Some of computers out there benefit when you do not install the Intel drivers. How about that, right? So it's all about knowledge, and don't forget trial and error. So the video intel is out. I have 0 if XF86 video things on there. There's nothing more to be deleted. Just the input guys are here. So all the video drivers are out. For me, great, right? So the same thing you can do in the future ISO that we're gonna build. All right, so let's build ourselves a new article here, article 31, and think about what do I need? And the GitHub, this one doesn't really give you any packages for XFC in this case, as you see. This one is all going pure as Arch. This one is about Zen, and we've put XFC on there, sorry. And here's the LTS version, and it looks like Mate that's on there, and you can get all the code. Now, the desktop you put in there couldn't be less important for me, right? There are 23 desktops on ArcoLinux. I mean, it's just a choice to have desktop A, B, C, and so on. What is important is to think about the XF86 video, and we can combine it maybe in the same video, NVIDIA. Maybe you can say, okay, cool, I'm gonna build my own ISO with the drivers that I need on my machine. And you can learn that by testing with ArcoLinux, you can learn that by testing with EndeavourOS, Garuda Linux, you name it, any Arch-based system. You can test what drivers do I need. Manjaro even so, but of course also ArcoLinux if you go with the ArcoLinux way of installing things. So anyway, try, learn, ArchWiki Intel, ArchWiki AMD, ArchWiki NVIDIA. Learn and read. Now, building an ISO that we like, that's good for us. Well, not like, but what's great for us, the drivers that we need to get the code in. The code is of course on this SSD, but let's assume I'm just a user. Open terminal here. Git clone is what it was already in the copy paste, I think. Let's have a look. Voila, git clone, and then a URL, and all the code comes in. And then you start thinking, analyzing, reading, all kind of information is in here, go read. But basically, you want to change the packages. So the packages x86-64, this is not from us. Till here is not from us. That's just Arch ISO, the package Arch ISO from ArcoLinux. When they build a package, that's it. An ISO, I mean, that's what they'll use, and that's it. We, on the other hand, we say, let's try out ALCI, DWM, Nemesis, and so on and so on. But also there, we can make decisions. So we're talking about XF86 video Intel, video AMD GPU. Do you want them to be on there? Yes, no, right? So sudo pacman -s. This is what I can install. I can add more. Gs3 are here, but I can install ATI is missing, dummy you don't need, FBDev, Intel is there, Nouveau is there as well, Open Chrome, QXL, sys USB, yeah, Video VSA, VMware for if you want to play out first and test out first in VirtualBox, then you take this one, and VMware the same, right? And Voodoo. So these are drivers, all drivers. Other driver you can decide to install is NVIDIA, and it's already there. NVIDIA settings, NVIDIA utils. Now, if you're the kind of guy that's always gonna play around with kernels, if you want to install the NVIDIA and Linux LTS kernel, there is an NVIDIA LTS package. But for instance, there is no NVIDIA Zen package. There is no NVIDIA hardened package. So for any of the other kernels besides the Linux and Linux LTS, you need to have NVIDIA DKMS. And that guy is gonna figure out what to do and is gonna build the NVIDIA driver himself. Always include the headers. So Zen headers, hardened headers, any other Linux kernels you may find, for example, on chaotic AOR, for example, and so many other places. So it's all about these drivers here. Add them or do not add them, entirely up to you. We've made videos about Mate. We never made one of Cinnamon, I think. So let's decide now on the spot to create something else. Now, first of all, plain text doesn't really work for me. I like to work in Perl. Anything that's gray is not used. So I don't want the Xcursor suite. I'm not interested in the Celtic mirror list. I'm not interested in Celtic keyring. The wallpapers that are on my own repository, I'm not interested as well. ArcoLinux keyring, nope, I'm gonna stick to ArcoLinux. So I'm never gonna go to ArcoLinux at all, ever, ever, ever. XFCE4, no, no. NeoFudge is always nice. Cinnamon. How do I know how to install Cinnamon? Arch wiki Cinnamon. They say to you, install the package Cinnamon. Okay, so the word Cinnamon is there. If you have an Intel GPU, make sure you're not using XF86 video Intel with Cinnamon, as it may freeze at random times otherwise, right? So they give you already an example that you need to figure out what driver you need on your machine. Sometimes you do need a video Intel driver. I have this old laptop, Mac laptop, ProBook, how is it called again? Yeah, MacBook Pro, that's the name I think. Is way old, but it needs the video Intel, right? To have a proper, well, build of Windows. So follow any recommendations here. If you're gonna say I'm gonna stick to Cinnamon, for example, and read more and more and more if there is something else you need. Now we've done that analysis already, so why not reuse the knowledge that we have, and you can use our knowledge. We have no problem with sharing knowledge. So Cinnamon, how do we create Cinnamon? We create Cinnamon by Arch ISO, cutting the packages. Here we are. This is how we create Cinnamon. We've seen that we need Nemo file roller, Cinnamon translations, Mint locale, ISO flag, GNOME terminal, GNOME system monitor. These are all things that in some way are interconnected with the desktop, right? But not everything, and that's the problem always, not everything is coming from ArcoLinux. So a sudo pacman -s cinnamon is the only thing you can use, right? No, don't want it. But the Nemo file roller that's on the ArcoLinux repo. Well, you'll see shortly. It is. So there is no problem in putting this text, this package, right? Control C on here. It will just be downloaded from, well, safe from the ArcoLinux repository. When I tried this guy, sudo pacman -s, it says, okay, available. So again, this one, this can go as well on there. As long as it's coming from Arch, I have no problem. Mint locale, where is this coming from? That's a problem, right? Because it's coming from our site. The website is the third-party repo. And if we're not going to use the ArcoLinux repositories, we'll not be able to download it and install it. So it's built. It was from the AOR. It was never on the ArcoLinux repositories. We built it ourselves, put it on a repo third party, and voila. Now we can do a sudo pacman -s, right? But this cannot go on the nor this one. GNOME terminal. Those guys or well, no. So that's on Arch, right? The other one, GNOME System Monitor, it's on Arch. The other one is GNOME Screenshots, it's on Arch. Except it's on Arch. So anything besides Mint Locale and ISO flag, I can get those in as well. Copy. And voila, I don't know these packages by heart as well, right? But that's what we need. What Lego blocks do we need to have this? Then we scroll up. We have Linux headers, base development, base and base development. Will we go for SDDM? Sure, I don't know. Yeah, I suppose so. Xorg servers, Xorg apps, network manager. All good. Here's your SDDM. That's the one being used. Grub and all that. OS Prober, if you just have if you have the intention just to have one operating system on your hard disk ever, you don't need OS Prober. Now there is the ALCI Calamares dev. Maybe we should do that also. New Calamares is out, but we can work with the old one as well. This one is booting inside DWM. We have our own DWM. Why? If you do not choose Cinnamon, Plasma, Mate, XFCE, then you end up in a black screen. Then nothing will happen, nothing will work. Calamares is graphical, right? So we need something to boot up into. So the ALCI DWM demonstrators, we can now say, never mind, because we've got our, yes, Cinnamon. We'll boot into Cinnamon and do our work from there. This is all Arch ISO. This is our decision. Go get me the Calamares development version. Go get me the configuration development. Xterm, do we need Xterm? Probably not, right? Because we've got GNOME terminal. And all these decisions, it's entirely up to you to see what you like to do. All right. Time to build in. Save. And then we go one up. And we go to the installation scripts, 40 build the ISO. And then we investigate. Often people ask me the question, Eric, it ended in, and then they show me the errors at the very, very end. No, of course not. Look for the first error. That's where you scroll up and you go and have a look at this long list of packages and you know what, messages and all that. It's the first error. That's what you need to analyze. Is it coming from the AUR? No, you can't install something from the AUR. You need to build it. Maybe the key was not good. So many things that can be the reason. But in the end, the scripts will try to make checksums from something that's not there. Of course you get errors, right? It's the first error that needs your attention, and that's what you need to analyze. So, ALCI ISO dev, our own view on it. Cinnamon, that's new, I don't think I've done that before. And we discussed also the versions. Let's see if I can find out if we ever did Cinnamon before. 23 desktops we have already, right? So, oh, we did. So, number 3. So, long ago we've installed it. Now we're number 30 article, right? Number 3, number 8. So, it's okay that we redo it. No problem. When we have quite a few builders at this particular moment in time, and we have knowledge out there, lots and lots of knowledge out there, and the idea is to grow gradually, not over a week, but over years. Yes, you heard right, years, that you are actually learning. And here there are two things: the vision of ArcoLinux University, grow into becoming an ISO builder, but start with small steps. And here's the guide, right? A comprehensive guide to ISO building. That's where we point you always to. This website and the ALCI website. If both of them and all articles are understood, not built, right? You can only build number 10. But if you watch all the videos and understand what's happening and why we do things and change things, and you follow with your own data, your own ideas and your own vision of how an operating system should be, you'll have an ISO. Your ISO, maybe your ISO for yourself, later on for a friend, and so on and so on. Now let's have a look, right? So we have here errors. So config file etc pacman-d ArcoLinux mirror list could not be read, no such file or directory. We have decided at some point in time that we don't want the keyring. We have decided in here, control find, that we couldn't care less about the ArcoLinux mirror list. So somewhere in there is still a mention, a link to the mirror list, ArcoLinux mirror list. Two options. Either I say, okay, fine, I'll install a particular package. It's just one file, right? In etc pacman.d ArcoLinux mirror list. Or you think about this and analyze this. No need to call me. Analyze this and think, why is that? Use the tools. PT, RG, all good ones, right? Where is the word ArcoLinux mentioned? Well, here, there, and there. Ooh, look at that. pacman.conf. Ooh, right? The pacman.conf is pointing to things that we don't want anymore. So he wants to get stuff from here. And we just say, never mind. The pacman.conf need to be changed. And there is sometimes a faster way. Sometimes these machines let you do a toggle comment. Haha. Sometimes, right? There is atom, there is code, there is G maybe, sublime text. Voila. That's saved. Now, come on. There's another one. May interest you. There's another etc pacman.conf. How is it here? Oh my god, there we go again, right? So we got the same things here. Now it's still open. Now we can be a little bit lazy and say, okay, Control C and Control V. Save. So I'm just saying no to ArcoLinux across everything. Pacman's, conf, the packages list, anything. I still see chaotic isn't there. So, okay, never mind. And we'll get here some ALCI Calamaras config dev things and CKP, voila. Anyway, I think we're past the error, we'll see. And we keep our eye on this one. Now, in the meantime, while I'm still waiting, right? I can have a look at the ALCI package build of the actual application, Calamares, water development, right? A version. If you see it like this, it makes more sense. 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, 40. I think we're at 42 at this point in time. Control C, Control V. Let's both have a look if that's correct. Create yourself an account on GitHub. For anything, that's always gonna be good. So sign up, right? Because many interesting stuff can be found here, and you have to type Calamares twice. That's a good tip to remember as well. A little bit smaller. 3.2.42. Go read. If you hate reading, stop developing, right? You need to read all the time. Latest new, what changed, what has been changed and was developed, what's in the pipeline. read. So I only needed to know the number 3242. We still see here another problem. Remember, Celtic mirror list could not be read. Oh my god, right? Same thing again, but maybe we can just let this thing do its work before we go back. The code comes from Philip. How to build calamares. And then make package, I suppose. But let's make the mistake. One or more files did not pass the validity check. We have a different zip. Completely new file there, right? Is it the zip? I don't know. Anyway, we need to type update package, and now we can stop typing, tab. Update package sums, and then make package, and we're building a new calamares in the meantime. Simple as that. So back to our code. We are actually on the desktop, right? Remember? And same thing here. PT Celtic RGPT, one of those. And the README, there's the Pacman. Oh my god, there is the Pacman. Sublime Text, where are you? I'm still here, waiting for you to go and change the Pacman. Celtic AOR there. You're out. And you're out. And scroll down. You're out. And you're out. Simple as that. Pacman looks where can I find packages, and you told them to go to Celtic AOR, but you didn't share where. So the package from Celtic is not on your ISO. So how can you know where to get it, right? So still building, that's fine by me. Or shall we wait? And now we have the new calamares on the new ISO. We can do that too. So where are we? We need to go to ALCI, to the package builds, to calamares dev, to this guy, and here we'll get the package. Building calamares will always take time, and it will also fail with certain updates, KPM core, boost libs, and all these packages. If that's out there, the change may need you, or it may force you to rebuild your calamares. Almost there. Voila. We've got ourselves the tar ZST, that's the one we need. Source is what is downloaded. Package is what is packaged. It's now in this thing. This needs to go to the repo. So moving away to the ALCI repo, put it in here, upload it to the internet so we can download it again with the other one. One git. What's happening? Voila. All right, let's pause the video and get these passwords through. All right, that's online. We go back to where we were, desktop, ALCI, installation scripts, number 40, run. Now we get the new calamares in, so that's cool. And you see it here, ALCI calamares 3.40. That's not okay at all. Control C, right? Control C. Let's open up. See that everything went okay. ALCI, repo. Sometimes there's some time lag, but sometimes some things can go wrong, right? 40 is still here. That's not okay. 39 is in the rubbish can. I'm afraid we need to build it again. So this script, from time to time, oh no, wait, def, Eric, def. Okay, so the def version is there. That's the one we've built. We are using the ALCI ISO def version. So it's only a matter of time, basically. GitHub not knowing that there is already a new guy in there and is still giving the number 40, and we stop everything, Control C again. Sometimes it helps to push it, but normally not, right? Let's push it back to the internet. We see here number 42. Not much else we can do, just push. And then hopefully when you update again, we get the latest, the newest in. It's just time, nothing is broken. So don't need this. Now he's hanging, right? So Control C again. And there he is, finally, 3.2.42. That's the one we're waiting for, right? Okay, well, that's building. Anything else I could do? We've built ourselves a new Calamares version. The config is exactly the same thing. Didn't change the thing there. Cinnamon has been added. Seems to me that some time ago, like quite a while ago, we already built Cinnamon in one of the first articles. But that's okay. A test again. And what we'll get is always a bare, well, the original ArcoLinux desktop, the original ArcoLinux Plasma, and original ArcoLinux XFCE, and voila, also the original ArcoLinux Cinnamon. It's entirely up to you to create configurations. How will it look? Wallpapers, icons, themes, widgets, conkeys, you name it. Anything is still to be created, and that's not gonna be in the ALCI. That's Carly. Carly is really installing everything, thinking about every step of the way. What did we change then? Why did we change that? What tools did we use? What flow do we have? The workflow. How do we get these colored things in Grub? How do we sign packages in there? It's all explained here. Creating GitHubs, comparing with Melt, I see here. So it's so filled, it's so packed with knowledge. 15 articles, and what we do, I guess we worked on Calamares, you see? Calamares configuration, package building, Calamares, how to change it, the branding of Calamares. The live user. Every live environment has some kind of user, right? But it needs to go. Eric comes in the place. Your user comes in the place of the live user. The one that you use on the live DVD. Where was this? Carly 5 was this, so Carly 6. While we go through, voila, is building. Great. GNOME is here. Using the GNOME desktop. Why? Just because we can. Anything can work with ALCI or Carly, right? It's practically the same thing, but ALCI stops when the Calamares is on the ISO. That's it, basically, right? That's it. Configurations and making a nice logo in here, in this neo fetch or screen fetch, these nice logos. We explain them as well. How do we create it? How do we create a logo and stuff like that, right? Carly 6, Carly 7, Calamares. What did we change? Why did we change it? Were there problems? Updates, right? Carly keyring, signing packages. That's the most, for me anyway, most complex part for me over the years. And still, from time to time, we all get the key errors from other people then when we want to build a package. The key's not there, right? part of Arch. No other way around it. Getting the Carly key, you know, another nice key. Should maybe make it a little bit smaller. Fits in the page. How are you? Aha, no, too bad. Then we put everything on pause and we'll just say see you later. And what is later? I have here the virtual box is ready and we can add. It will probably take, yeah, I think here in this particular project I kept ArcoLinux as a name since we still have ArcoLinux, right? But it's just with Calamares. And if you decide to put Cinnamon on there or Plasma on there, entirely up to you. But the name will still be ArcoLinux and then the date. So it will have the date 2021 09/16. It will be Cinnamon. The point is, there are ISOs online. The point is, you should build them, right? Let's have a look at where the ISOs are. If you're not ready to do all this, what you see, that's cool too. But there is here the SourceForge.net project ALCI. Now I will not put this one online because this has no place, nowhere, because this is already themed, tweaked, you know. Cinnamon is on there. So ISO Dev, the LTS version, ISO pure, so Arch black screen, then you do the rest. Zen. All right. I am not your target, Campus Shop. I am not your target. Wrong. Anyway, in the meantime, I think we can pause. Right, let's do that. And if everything went well, you got yourself a home Eric ALCI ISO Dev out ArcoLinux 2021 09/16, and then it's time to test. Oracle Dev, fine, choose, out, open, start. Nope, wrong screen. This screen. So we won't make ourselves tired changing the logos and all that. No. ALCI is ArcoLinux plus Calamares. Stop. Right? And if you want to have drivers on it, fine. If you want a Cinnamon on it, fine. Just keep adding things that you can have with ArcoLinux, or you build the packages and put it on the repo, and you can add them too. But the point is, keep it very simple and basic. Now, since SDDM was created for Plasma, you get this prompt, and all you need to do is enter, and you're in, because it's an empty password. And that's in the SDDM configuration, where you can change it if you want to. Didn't go that way, right? So you know it's still okay, it's just fine, just click enter. Now ALCI, or not ALCI in such, but Calamares is doing all kinds of things in the backend, right? It's going to check all kind of connections, for instance, internet connection, all that. And when everything is done, voila, we can start. Next. And you see, we don't use the ALCI DW, we use the Cinnamon. This is what you get. If you don't change anything to ArcoLinux, well, packages, this is what you get. No theming, standards, and this is quite important actually. We've added X3 in here, that's true. We don't have it in ArcoLinux, so that's the predecessor of X4. So one choice more, choose whatever you want. No swap, with swap, etc, etc. And then next. And off you go. And the thing will basically unpack Cinnamon on your future system. And you know, don't need to type any of your commands and all that in. And once you figured it out, hey, you've got yourself a package list, you got yourself the pacman.conf, and if it's time to do a reinstall, you build a new ISO, and voila. You add more and more knowledge to this package because you like the Arc theme and you like the Numix icon theme, and etc, etc. You add more packages to the list for the ALCI packages list, and there you go. you get an ISO that's gonna be more and more perfect for you, right? That's what we want to, well, to create. That's an ISO that's actually suited just for you. So the pacman is important, and the package is x86-64. That's what's going on there. The PC is not created for NVIDIA, so if that was the case, you would have maybe typed this in. That's probably already gonna be enough with the Linux kernel then, right? NVIDIA LTS for the Linux LTS kernel, NVIDIA DKMS for anything besides. Well, you can also use NVIDIA DKMS for Linux, Linux LTS, Linux 10, Linux Hardened, but don't forget also to add the headers. I do believe it's necessary. Voila, that concludes probably the video. We should maybe wait a little bit longer. Voila, almost there. And we got ourselves an Arch Linux system. Not the Arch Linux way, but the ALCI way, right? I want to have a graphical installer. Use Calamaris. It's free, it works. Boot. Grub is there, not as nice as ArcoLinux grub. Doesn't matter, nobody sees it, right? And who am I? I'm Eric. I log in, and there we go. We've got ourselves a system. I did install the GNOME terminal, I think. Why is it necessary? Nemo, right mouse click, open in terminal. That's what's launched. Right mouse click, open in terminal. If you don't install GNOME terminal, it won't open the right mouse click. Simple as that. All right. Enjoy learning about all these Lego blocks, because basically it's all it is. Use Lego block for this, for that, grub for this, LightDM, SDM, use the right tools for the right job, and then you've got yourself an ISO that you want, right? You put on more and more packages, and then Firefox, I don't know, Chromium, you can add anything you like, and it's gonna be on the ISO next time around. All right, cheers, have fun.